Alternator Man here. I want to show you a common problem with Ford vehicles. This is really an important problem that people deal with all the time. This is a 2002 Mercury Mountaineer. This is a 4G series alternator. This also applies to the 3G and 6G series motorcraft alternators on Ford vehicles, Ford type vehicles. You've got a plug in here, and what it's supposed to be is this little green wire with a red stripe. That's supposed to be hot with the key on, dead with the key off. This other little bit larger wire is supposed to be hot at all times, and so you should check these. But now watch this. If I check this, if I stick my probe in here, I get 11.5 full voltage. Totally, it looks like full voltage. My battery is down. My battery is not quite 12 volts. But if I plug this in and try it, it won't work. But then, if I take this test light and I use the test light on it, and if I touch the test light on the main battery post in the back of the alternator, which is supposed to be hot at all times, you see the test light works. But when I use the test light and I probe it in here, it won't light the light. See, it reads 11.59 like it's good, but it won't run the test light. In other words, the wire is corroded, mostly corroded through. It's letting some voltage through, but not enough power to get the alternator going. See that? I can read it. So don't trust that. You got to try a test light in it, and if it doesn't light, see, when I put it on the main battery post, that works. And when I try it in there, it won't work. It's very important to get that right, because if you don't get that right, your alternator will not work. And let me show you. What I'm going to do, I'll plug this back in. I'll start up the vehicle. Make sure nothing gets in there. Now I've plugged the plug back in, and technically the alternator should be working. Or not. We're only around 10 or 11 volts at the battery post. The alternator's still not working. So what I've done is I stripped that wire back and cut off a little bit of insulation out of it, and I made up a jumper and stuck it on the main battery post. Now let's see what happens when I plug that in. You can actually hear the alternator start to kick on now. Let's see what does voltage at the battery. Look at that. We're already at there. There we go. 14.2. That means that alternator is working. You see that? So you just can't trust the meter by sticking a meter on it. It's got to be more than just a meter. It's got to be a good solid battery voltage at that all the time. And so what I'm going to do with this one is, because this is an older vehicle, 2002, it really doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is this fake little jumper that I made up, I'm going to strip it back, I'm going to put it in this wire, I'm going to solder it on, tape it up, and then bring the looming back over it, and we're going to call it good. My other alternative is to, and you'll see this again, that this alternator is not working there. It's not working. It's only getting 10, 11 volts. There it goes. Now it's starting to work. So that's what you do. That main wire here, the main wire is hot all the time, and this other wire is hot all the time. The green one is hot with the key on, dead with the key off. So that's an important thing. I can either trace this wire all the way back to the beginning and find out where it's rotted off or broken. I'm not going to bother with it. This is an older vehicle. It's somebody I know. I'm going to just take this jumper and pull this lead off, solder this right in here, tape it off, and they're done. But that's an important thing to know. A lot of times people will tell you to test these things, but you'll stick a voltmeter in that plug and you'll see that it's voltage, but your alternator still doesn't work. So that's an important thing to do. Check that out that way and you'll have a lot less trouble. We sell top quality alternators. We have high outputs, many different things. Check us out at alternatorparts.com. Thank you.